nobody really wants to trust anybody, but when you see somebody's being vulnerable, you begin to, you know, uh, maybe if I share a work, a really reflective piece or something, and you hear it and you understand, like, I really care about this craft. I'm really trying to, you know, build a space that can showcase people's genius, right? It's coming in unsuspecting ways, and just building bridges through art.
Welcome to another episode of Keepin' It a Bean. Keepin' It a Bean is where I love to have authentic storytelling conversation all over a cup of coffee or tea. I know these last couple episodes I've been drinking tea. This episode I'm drinking tea again because I am not recording this too early in the morning today. But thank you for joining me. If you are new here, my name is Marquise, Marquise Davon, this American Negro. Please don't ever call me Mark. That is all I ask. This show is an opportunity for me to just play around with my content a little bit more, be able to talk to my friends, be able to just sit down and y'all get to know somebody who's not as polished. You get to know the unfiltered, sometimes still processing version of me, but I really wanted that for my audience to be able to kind of get to know me a little bit more, but also see how I think in a lot of these situations. So without further ado, welcome to Keepin' It a Bean. Welcome back to Keepin' It a Bean. Today I am joined by one of my very, very good friends. This is Zachary Di'Ante, the man, the myth, the legend. If you ever need to know how spontaneous life can get, talk to Zach. Yo, bro, welcome to the show. It is so good to have you. How you living?
Man, I couldn't complain if I wanted to.
Okay.
Blessed, highly favored. It's been a time, and it's been a good visit.
No, that's a fact, and it's good. I was like, this is real last minute. It was real off the
definitely off the cuff.
Off the cuff, but I was like, well, I'm already coming in to record anyways. You're in town. We got, what do we say, 30 hours in 6 months? It's been 6 months of not being
here.
Yeah. But I was like, yo, I get to have a conversation with you. And honestly, the conversation I wanted to have with you is just something that I personally admired about you ever since I met you. And it's honestly your ability to like make community no matter where you go and no matter who the person is. Like, I think you understand a person's energy and you are very receptive to it, because what I did notice about you is your ability to maintain your community in such a wonderful way. But also, when you did end up moving 6 months ago, you immediately were searching for community. That's the biggest thing I remember us talking about as we were packing, and we were just sitting there talking. In the last couple of our conversations is like, yo, what is down in this new place that I'm going to be living in? And so, can you kind of just, one, like, what was that process like for you? And two, what does community? Let's start with that. What does community mean to you?
Mm. Community is a practice to me. I think, it's just engaging with those that you surround yourself with. And whether that's by choice or however that is, however you come across these people, taking time and, appreciating whatever that interaction is, whether it's just speaking at the grocery store or, doing a little bit more, like we did for the gentleman this morning.
You're right.
I don't question the serendipity of my life, man. And it makes for things to be a lot simpler, Community is everything, man. Community is everything. It's the family first. But I take the approach like the fortunate person who would have objectivity to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I see community in a tier, and I understand it, and I understand that I need the entirety of it.
Nah, I thank you for naming that. One, can you let people know what is the Maslow's hierarchy?
Man, well, don't make me say all of them.
Don't say all of them, but give like a brief overview.
Okay. I'll give it to you like this. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Freedom, justice, equality.
Come on.
Food, clothing, shelter. uh, love, peace, and happiness.
Yeah. I love how you broke that down, especially because there's so many different ideological frames in there. But it's also like in how your brain works, all of these things need to be in place, or at least most of these things need to be in place for like community to function,
Mm-hmm.
right? And while I said I really admire you around understanding like your idea of community and like what the needs are, especially like how you put it in like specific categories, it's also just like you do this in practice all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I could be walking and you're like, oh, yo, bro, down this street is this is where this is at, right? And something I appreciate is that another piece of community is like a very authentic piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like you will find your y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Zach, I don't know how he finds himself in these situations. I don't know how you found all of these places, but it is like you are
Outside.
the connoisseur of any city's best kept secrets. Like,
Man,
it's
that's a hot
crazy.
take, but
No, I think you, but you seek out the purest parts of community. I think
yeah.
that's what I think is really cool to see
Mm-hmm.
is like how when you are walking around, you can name the history, you can understand how the neighborhood can function, you can understand the trends that happen with fashion and music and media that people aren't paying attention to. Like there's so many things about Philly that you put me on to, and I'm just like, yo, how this is like you know how to find like the very specific cultural markers of a place rather than the thing that, and I'll say like the touristy kind of traps, right? Like you come in and you learn and you listen and then you build and figure out like where you function. And I
But
think that's how you operate.
community did that for me though. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the, I mean, I met people from here. I didn't just meet people that did the things that I was doing, or other transplants. I connected with the people that was from here, the people that I'm around. Who can actually show me and tell me something other than just learn with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, and that definitely doing that as soon as I got here definitely shaped the way that I approached the city, and definitely affected the way I made it through the city,
Mm-hmm.
and you know I this will always be a second home, man. Man,
Nah.
Philadelphia, like but the transition to Richmond, man, it was uh it was heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was heavy. It was like in the last few years, there was a lot of loss in the family and things like that, and the weight of the distance started weighing in. And we don't make choices for anybody else, but just thinking about your community and the tears, right? And making sure that you can do and support those
Mm-hmm.
that need you and deserve that support and deserve to not go through things alone, that you can do for and be at least close enough
Yeah.
to do for. You know, and so that was a big evaluation in the selection process of picking Richmond. And then as far as building community there, it's just like I didn't have community there,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then I went and I soaked up community, and I was looking for something that really looked like a sanctuary for, you know, my community, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't find one that really spoke to me. And I was fortunate enough to start kind of having a space to do something like that. So it just kind of, you know, it's something that we building in real time, but we
Mm-hmm.
ain't never been scared to do that.
No, not yeah, no, for real. I'm glad you said it like that too, because that's one thing I know to be true about you
Yeah,
is like you're gonna go right in. You're going to figure
absolutely.
it out. You're gonna put yourself out there, which I think just one speaks to your character, but also speaks to a certain level of vulnerability that you have to be able to interact with people. Um, because I think about you, and even when we first met, before we even fall back into Richmond, when we first met, we were at a what was it? Somebody's son,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Yeah,
Rashid's
absolutely.
event, yeah, and that was 2019,
Yeah, that was a minute ago.
yeah, and so I remember sitting there, but at first I was like, I've never seen this man before. I think you had that
Bro,
bright ass jacket on.
bro, I caught the last minute invite from Mike.
Yeah.
He was just like, you know, he little broed me.
He did. Yeah.
He did, but it was cool. But he was just like, yo, little bro, I think you need to slide out to this.
Yeah.
And that was another one of those. It was like, yo, you can really find the community you need right here in the city. And but the extra layer to all of those things is that these spaces are built.
Yeah.
They're not just waiting on us.
Mm-mm.
You know. But the thing that also is real is that like these spaces are built here.
Yeah.
And those spaces need to be built other places, you know. People don't not have the same, aspirations or need the same types of community and dynamic communities at that. But
like every single time you've talked about something, there is a person who has brought you into a space, and that was how you were able to kind of build that community initially. And so I'm appreciative because it was even like my journey coming to Philly and stuff like that. So coming to Philly when I did, it was Sterling who got me into the Black male educator spaces. And if I wouldn't have known Sterling, I wouldn't have went to that event that night because then I wouldn't have met you. And so it's like funny, like seeing like everybody who was in that room. I was like, yes, there are. What was in the room that was present was Black men and mental wellness and an honest conversation, and all of us just wanted to fellowship.
And people that cared.
And people that
cared about the community.
Yes.
You know?
Because we were in a Black woman-owned shop too.
Yeah.
What is it? Freedom Apothecary.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I think that was like one of the dopest parts because no matter who I ended up speaking to that night, I know I met you, I met Sheed, I met Dante, I met Wakiomo. It was a couple of y'all that I was able to meet.
P. Michael.
Yep. Oh yeah, that's right.
P. Michael was doing great things with Junior Barber Academy. You know, like paying it forward.
Yeah.
I think he didn't. I can't even tell you how many students he's given a trade.
Truly. And so I think that's going to always be important because there has to be a community already set here, or somebody has to take the initiative to build a community, like you said, and then be able to bring others into it. And so I say that because it made me think around like the first time we were able to meet and then how we built community with each other. Right. But then now it almost feels like in this, and it's such a short amount of time when you think about it, but in the short 6 months of you going to Richmond, you were able to lean in with your authenticity because you're really big into spoken word, you're into poetry, right?
Absolutely.
And because of like you doing that, you created a space that you were also craving. And you knew that this was something that Richmond could benefit from. There's a space that could be curated there. And yes, these other spoken word events could already be present there, but there's something specific around the community that you were able to curate. So can you talk to me about the process of first being welcome in the community, but now where you are at, you are now the architect of a new community here, and you're activating a space in a way that others may not have been able to. Talk around like your journey of building that out.
Man, I think it starts by one person at a time. You were speaking about like my ability to be vulnerable. That just leans in with like showing people that you're being who you are and letting people, trust you. Because nobody really wants to trust anybody, but when you see somebody's being vulnerable, you begin to, maybe if I share a work, a really reflective piece or something, and you hear it and you understand, like, I really care about this craft. I'm really trying to, build a space that can showcase people's genius, right? It's coming in unsuspecting ways, and just building bridges through art, because that's really all it's about, connecting, seeing how you can support people and carrying them on their way to wherever they're going, whether they writing competitively, just doing it as a hobby, just doing it as a way to express themselves, because people don't express themselves, letting it be the outlet that people need, right? Not pushing it to be more than whatever, just uplifting the people that, build that community and uplift you ultimately, because, if not, they're going to drop you, like, I always pay it forward, man, just Just pay it forward. That's it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, your ability to pay it forward, because that just, as you build on top of that, more people are wanting to be in your space. You build
Yeah.
like-minded people. Like-minded people also get inspired to also do stuff like this. And I love that you were able to say that, because it reminded me of when I decided to do due diligence. Oh, so if the audience did not know, this is the president of the due diligence committee, the
Going
president
coastal.
CEO. Thank you so much, lead board member of it all. But
Hey,
I appreciate a lot of what you said, because I remember thinking around due diligence. I was like, people aren't. At first, I was like, people aren't going to get it. I don't like. Is this something that people are going to really want? What kind of people are going to show up here? I wasn't sure who was going to pop up to the event, because I was like, I don't know how to explain, like, think around like Tiny Desk meets Rap Radar. But immediately, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, right, like, what's Tiny
but
Desk
it's
missing?
like, and what is Rap Radar missing?
Yeah. And I was just like, here's the music component to an interview that can bring it all together. I formatted it a little differently,
Yeah.
but I remember, one, you were one of the probably the earliest of people to just be like, nah, bro, like, this is gold that you were striking. I think that's the first part. But the other piece is, as you were talking around doing that, it also inspired other events to start popping up. And I remember my boy, Josh, wonderful spoken word artist, but he runs the county John now. And so he was also like, yo, I want to be able to get people out of the city and see so much more of Philly as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like, where are these different communities tapped in? And so he was able to bring together spoken word and music and live music and performance and community all together. So I think it's a beautiful thing of like, when do you become a catalyst for somebody else to build out their own world? And I think you're going to end up doing that, as well as people get inspired to want to know, like, yo, Zach, you put this together. And already down there, you're like, all right, so I can talk to so and so. This is the community that's built. I understand a little bit of the history now, and I understand how I fit into this piece of the world. So I wanted to give you your flowers on that. But that's just something you made me think about as I've built community, and what's like really resonating as like reflecting and processing now how much you influenced me to want to be able to build that community.
Bro,
And I appreciate you.
Yeah. Bro, it's nothing. You can't. It was just honest. Because I remember, I don't remember everything you said when you were like first building this idea, but you said it was an event that could combat, the lazy listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, who doesn't want to weed out the trash?
Look, there's a standing.
Excuse me, but I'm just saying, it's like, to build a space for the people that care,
Yeah,
because we care.
truly.
I said, no, this is gold.
Right.
We need this. Let's. What do we need?
Yeah.
What do we need?
And that was like, I think that was the dopest part, because on a side, like, even on the side, like, to me, you're somebody who is, I look at you as like a tastemaker, or somebody that I can, if I'm going to ask you about something critical, you're going to give me the answer. But also, more particularly, around focusing on like what the culture needs. And I know the culture is like this all elusive term, so I don't like to throw it out too much, but you understand a subculture, and you understand art, and you understand fashion, and you understand music, and your opinion is someone's that, like, I value a lot, because you're not easily impressed. You can appreciate, but you're not easily impressed with stuff. And so for you to like, one, co-sign this, but also understanding that this is now just like an aside. I appreciate that. I appreciate your opinion on a lot of creative ideas, because you'll always push and you'll always see like what this can be and how to build from there and how to expand. And I think the other piece for me is, as I was talking, I was wondering, I said, yo, where did your appreciation for all of this stuff come from? Like, you were one of the most eclectic people I've met. So like, how did that, where that appreciation for like such a deep culture? Because niggas go from Basquiat to Carhartt to P's and Q's to Paranoia. Like,
it's a lot of things, man.
Yeah,
shout out
bro.
to Paranoia Worldwide.
Okay.
Man. My boy Ish. Yeah, he's doing his thing in a major way, man. But nah, bro, it's like, when I was thinking about due diligence, and I had something to offer about that, but when I think about any community, this community I'm building now, the culture, like, bro, it gives me so much more. Like the community I'm doing right now every Wednesday, I go there and give it my all, and they give me so much more. Straight up, like
That's
my
freaking
soul
sweet,
be
bro.
fed, bro. Like,
All
and
the
I
way.
know you feel like that about due diligence, and that's just because you care, and that's
Mhm.
how you know you on the right way. But like, how did I become such a peace person? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. I put it together some days, but I don't like wearing all that crazy stuff no more,
Yeah.
man. I'm getting older. I like to wear, you know,
They keep it
Carhartt.
simple.
I keep a uniform these days
Right.
most of the time, man. You know, something chill, something that'll get me in the door. And won't, they ain't gonna leave me standing out there. They gonna see me and let me in.
Yep.
That's
Yo, we might have a fucking dress code policy, but I will always be able to get in. I'll tell you that much.
come
It's
on now. They
the true
said,
quiet luxury.
bro, listen. I know a wise person used to tell me you can't never be overdressed or overeducated. You know.
Look,
So listen, and if you don't know, you won't go.
I love it. I love it. Oh man. Nah, I just wanted to like just sit down and rap with you for a little bit
Nah,
and just have
bro.
the opportunity. I know this ain't gonna be the last time
Nah,
you on the
man.
show. You already know.
Keeping
But
it a bean.
keeping it a bean. Yeah.
Keeping it a bean.
So the last part of really what I wanted to get at is
Let's
just
get it.
like this is the keeping it a bean section. So this is any hot take you want, any reflection from the episode. You can take this however you want to take it. It can be off the cuff. It can be something completely different from the conversation.
Bro, I got
But
a
what are you gonna
million
keep it
hot
at a
takes.
bean
You want
about
like
today?
you want some Philly news or something like that? What you?
Let's go with some Philly news.
I
Let's go
need
with
a
some.
category. You know, I got a hot take problem.
Got a hot take? You want to do hot take in Philly business? You want to take a hot take in culture? You want to take a hot take in politics? Where we going? How you feel about the shiesty mask?
Oh,
If I'm gonna keep it a bean about the shiesty mask,
yo, it's crazy. That's really crazy because they not stopping it. They not stopping it. That 250 sound good, but I'm not gonna weigh in too heavy because
mm-hmm.
I heard it ain't passed through. But I definitely seen that and been asking people since I've been here, like, why y'all still selling them shits?
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all gonna get somebody beat the fuck up by the police, but y'all got it.
Right. Look, anything for to keep the dollar going because they know.
No, truly, that nigga killing. And they get offended too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, yo, this illegal. No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not.
It will be.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a semi hot take, man.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's. What are you gonna keep it a bean about for your album of your year or your artist of your year, 2023?
Carisha. No, I'm playing.
Oh, I said say more.
Oh,
Say
man.
more.
Nah, look, bro. What is like a project? Either West Side Guns, and then you pray for me.
No,
I mean, I've been listening to some more mellow stuff.
bro, we listen to anything and everything in the car. I'll be
No,
honest.
I mean, hey, listen, bro. Listen, no, actually, man. And see, it's just hard for me to really say this with my whole chest.
Yeah.
But you gotta feel me, bro. I was the only person that didn't speak Spanish at my Thanksgiving last year, bro. Like, I'm really like my community go wide,
Yeah.
far. Like, I love my family, my extended family, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But that peso puma, I'm really sliding that, bro. I don't know what's going on, but it's.
Look, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
But yeah, no, that and that Bad Bunny album was both slapping.
Bad Bunny.
But you know, West Side Gun should be my.
Yeah.
He should be my vote, so I don't disrespect culture.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I'm here for it. Nothing disrespect. Your culture is expansive.
Exactly, bro. Like,
yeah.
It got plays.
Mm-hmm. And did.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
Still does. Will.
Okay. I think if I'm gonna keep it a bean, my artist of my year, it's a difficult one, but as of right now, I don't know if I'm going Victoria Monet or if I'm going with Terrace Martin. And Terrace Martin. Now it's Terrace Martin because every single thing he's dropped so far has been crazy with Alex Isley and
I didn't like that project.
James Fauntleroy.
Didn't like that project.
For which one?
Alex Isley and the
Paradise.
I don't really like dude.
Oh, you don't like Terrace Martin?
I don't really think. I don't.
Wow.
I heard it.
Yeah.
Like.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there for that. You know, the same way. That Cleo Soul
you know what?
made me really happy.
Truly.
The Cleo Soul made me happy.
I definitely meant to ask you. We'll get back to Cleo Soul real quick. But you made me think, because I was like, oh, she did Paradise. That's Sade. He's going to be critical.
And then he came on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no,
I didn't think about that.
But no, like, I mean, people like get crazy with their Sade samples, you know. I don't hate them all.
Right. He said, I'm a fan. Stop playing with me.
You know.
Yes.
I'm
the number one.
Yeah,
fan.
I think I'm a slight critic though.
Yeah. No, but it's important.
Yeah.
Now I appreciate what you kept it a being about today with the Shiesty Mask and West Side Gun for your Artist of the Year. Thank you for being here. I'm glad we were able to just do this Joan off the cuff. All right, man. Yeah, this is the first of many. This is only a peek into like what people can understand how you and I interact in conversation.
Yeah.
But just know more is coming.
Sharp as iron, man. Man. We way makers.
Every time.
We way makers, man.
So
we're just gonna pave the way.
Look, I appreciate you. Thank
Zachary
you for stopping
Di'Ante
by.
Penix. He ain't say it all exactly. You know what it is, man.
Come on
we
now.
Stopped through, kept it a bean. We gonna keep it a bean every day.
That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I will see y'all next week. Peace.